Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Level Up. Man, I'm so excited. We have got a camera shootout. It is going to be the Insta360, the Sony ZV-E10, a wonderful, amazing video production entry-level camera, but with a Sigma 16mm f1.4 stop prime lens. This is a $1,200 setup in your camera, and we're going to be pinning it up against a $300 webcam. Doesn't seem fair, and I'm really excited for us to find out together how it stacks up. So let's check it out. Okay, I'm really excited about this one. In my previous video regarding the Insta360 Link, it was a video that was more about how I had changed my opinion on whether or not you should buy a webcam for $300. Is any webcam worth $300? And my opinion was no. To me, it was too close to an entry-level DSLR or mirrorless camera, and the fact that you can upgrade it through a lens, a better lens over time, and improve your image quality when the dollar gap was so small compared to the gap in features and capability. And then along comes the Insta360. They sent me out an email saying that they believed that they could change my mind in my stance regarding webcams at the $300 price range. And not only that, but they could change my mind about whether or not the Elgato Facecam Pro was the best webcam out there for $300. So they had sent it out to me for me to review, and I accepted the challenge, and I was blown away by the features that went with it. And in that video, I wanted to show you what it can do. Now, let's start working on the video quality and how we can optimize video quality for dark rooms, light rooms, windows in the background. Yeah, that was the elephant in the room. I bet you've been thinking that this whole time. Why doesn't he shut the window? This video is more about just how good can this video quality be. Let's start getting to the side-by-side comparison, shall we? Let's go. Okay, so right off the bat, you're noticing, wow, that's pretty dark, and that's intentional. What I wanted to do was I wanted to get these things as close to base zero as possible. So my Sony ZV-E10, I have it set to an ISO of 100, and my shutter speed is 1/50. I have the same settings in my Insta360 software. My ISO is at 100, and my shutter speed is, let's see, oh, it's 1/100. So let's bring this to 1/50. Okay, so now they are both 1/50 shutter speed and ISO at 100, and you can see a difference right there that you can see the background. You can see through the window a lot more clear on the Insta360 webcam than you can the Sony ZV-E10. Now, you can fix that on the Sony ZV-E10. So you can get that window more in focus and more light in, but it means you have to pump more light on your face. And you can do that by adding a production level studio light that really can handle that. I use the small rig RC120B for a lot of my video production projects. I don't really use it in here because I think it's overkill. I use just a $70 softbox. Just because it's the most expensive doesn't mean that it's the best one for you, and that's proof right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the ISO on the Insta360. So we're at 100, 125, 160. So now you can see the camera kind of pulling in. And this is 250, 260. So I think right there, we're right there, I think. Or this is 320. So this is 320 side by side, and that's pretty close. So you can see that's 320 on the right, and this is the Sony ZV-E10 on the left, Insta360 on the right at 320 ISO, and shutter speed at 1/50. So when I turn auto exposure on, let's go ahead and do that. And this is what the Insta360 does on its own to try and match. So there's auto exposure on the Insta360. That's the AI. Oops, sorry. Stay. So this is the auto exposure on in the Insta360, and you can see right now it is trying to compensate for the window, my face, and the reason I'm doing this is very important. And I'm going to read this message because I think this nails it on the head for people who are watching this video trying to decide whether or not to get an Insta360. I think this checks all the boxes. And this was a comment from a viewer on another video I did regarding whether or not you should get a GoPro versus a webcam. And this comment, I think, really nails it on the head, and I want to give him credit for this. And this comes from John's Tarot Podcast. And I apologize if I said that wrong. You can message me, and I will give you props and make sure I say it right in the next video because, you know, name is important. Name means something. All right, so here was his comment. Depending on what level you are at, Elgato Facecam or the Facecam Pro may work for you. By the time you get a mirrorless setup, it's $800. Also, a huge learning curve. Someone gifted me one, and I'm very happy. So, for the beginner who it is unclear if they're going to be successful, it's not a bad idea. So, I think right there, that is something that gets glossed over big time. A lot of people who are buying this, you don't even know if YouTube's going to be for you. You've seen the videos, you think you want to do it, you don't even know what the workflow is yet. You don't know how many hours go into shooting it, editing it, color grading it, audio problems. I mean, let me tell you something. I've been doing this for a year and I still struggle with the audio because a lot of times I'll switch microphones. If you're doing microphone tests, it's different microphones, different gains. If you're doing a video review and you're up close and far away or moving around, you're trying to not take the viewer through this audio roller coaster. Man, you could really pull your hair out. I have not mastered that at all. You can clearly tell that by watching some of the videos. So there are a lot of factors that go into time spent before you literally upload it to YouTube. So for those people out there that haven't grasped the amount of work that goes into making a video, other than just hitting record, they may not like this. So this is a huge investment to make. And I think for a lot of people, buying a webcam is a safer purchase first to get started. And then what you can do is, if you like it, you know what it takes to make the video, what it takes to edit the video, what it takes to process the video and render the video and get it uploaded. And then after that, the time you spend answering comments and feedback for your viewers, that's really important. I think that's more important than making the video itself. Is you're doing this so you can have a relationship with the viewers. If you don't interact with them, then what are you doing? Honestly, that's my opinion there. Once they comprehend and take in all of it and say, you know what? Yep, I like this and I want to do more of it. Then you can save up and get a mirrorless or DSLR camera, get a really good lens to go with it. And now you can pair that with the Insta360. So now you have a camera that is stationary, like the Sony ZV-E10 with excellent 4K footage image. And then you have the Insta360 where you just put your hand up. Now that look at the left, like I'm moving around. If I'm sitting here talking and I'm on a podcast and I'm doing this, man, that can drive the other person crazy. If you're a guest on someone else's show, they've got to constantly move this box around to keep you in the frame. If you have an Insta360, you can be a guest on someone else's podcast or live stream, and they don't have to worry about what you're doing. You're doing them a favor by making sure that your face stays in the shot. If you're fidgety, if you like to move around a lot, zoom back, you want to sit back, you want to sit forward. So that's a really cool feature, and it's only $300. And as you can see, the image quality between the two, the Sony ZV-E10 and the Insta360, I mean, neck and neck. I mean, obviously the Sony ZV-10 to me is a better quality image as far as definition, clarity, and again, the lighting isn't maximized for the Sony ZV-E10 right now because I'm trying to bridge the gap between that and the Insta360 right now. But when you nail down your lighting with the Sony ZV-10, man, wow, it's beautiful. But with the Insta360 on the right, that's pretty cool. That's pretty good. Man, focus, Michael. I'm all over the place. I'm really excited about this webcam. So let's go ahead and jump over to the Insta360, and we'll go ahead and see how it looks with this lighting setup, and then we'll make some adjustments to see if we can't get it to look like this. All right, so this is auto exposure. Let's go ahead and turn off auto exposure and start tinkering a little bit. And we can turn that up, and you can see exposure is now at 1250. Woo, that's crazy. That's 1,000. 800, 600, 400 right there. So again, with the Insta360, with the ISO, you need more light than you would the Sigma lens. The lens on the Sony camera costs more than the webcam itself, so of course it's going to be better in lower light situations. So let's pump in some light here. My softbox. So now my softbox is at 100. Let me get this here. My audio is probably sounding terrible because I keep moving around. And let's take the key light air and let's crank it up so we can kind of get. There we go. I think the more light you pump in, the more crisp and clear the image gets. So we're just going to crank up the lights. Crank them up. Crank them up. All right, we're going to kill this fly. Okay, I just want to say for the record that no human beings or animals were harmed during the filming of this video. However, the fly was injured and did not make it. Just saying. Okay, so there you go. This is with a lot of light pumped in, and I think you get more crispness in the image. You can adjust a lot of this and post with color correction if that matters to you. But if you're just teaching, preaching, doing TikTok videos, and you're not interested in professional level video quality, there you go. I'm going to turn this back on auto to see what it does in this situation. So now I have it on auto exposure and auto white balance. There you go. So right there, I have my RCB 120B studio light pumping 100% light at the ceiling behind me, and that's reflecting off and giving me more of a silhouette feature, adding even more light. I mean, we could sit here for hours and you can adjust this, but you can just see when you're trying to compare this with the Elgato Facecam Pro, I think you're splitting hairs, but I think you really see the potential of this thing when you compare it with something that is clearly above its weight. I'm also going to include a clip where I'm sitting outside, and as you can see, when you're outside in natural daylight, boy, the Insta360 just hits an absolute grand slam. I mean, look at the image quality in this shot right here as I'm sitting outside. So if you're trying to teach a class or you're trying to live stream your podcast, you just want to set up your laptop on your patio, use the natural lighting that's out there. Look at the quality, the image quality that you're getting. If you want to go do a podcast or a live stream from a cafe or a coffee shop, you can set up your laptop, plug in your Insta360. Your MacBook Pro is going to power up the Insta360, and you're going to get this kind of image out there. I mean, wow, that's amazing. Okay, so there you go. This is a side-by-side comparison of what the Insta360 is capable of. And I'm just going to say this too. I mean, as long as we're just being honest right now, I'm an Elgato fanboy. I love Elgato products. I have a Keylight Air. Their customer service is amazing. By the way, Elgato, if you're watching this, shout out to you, because I had a problem recently with my Elgato Keylight Air. They helped me troubleshoot it and get it up and running, and I haven't had a problem with it since. They gave me the solution to that problem by the end of the day. And that is what separates a company, regardless of product. The product can be great, but if you have problems with it and customer service stinks, man, all you did was spend a lot of money for a lot of headaches. So customer service to me is equally as important as the actual quality of the product itself. And Elgato hits both. They make wonderful products. So this is not about, hey, the Insta360 Link is an amazing webcam and the Elgato Facecam Pro isn't. They are both amazing webcams. Then all of a sudden you start listing off all the things the Insta360 can do: pan, tilt, zoom, instant control. Like I can control where this camera's pointed at from my computer. I'm adding a cameraman to my studio setup without having to pay, feed, dress, or worry about that camera person getting hurt on the job chasing me around, and I got to pay them workman's comp. I don't have to worry about all that. That's a plus right there. So to me, the Insta360 is the only webcam, in my opinion. Okay, get YouTube community right there for the comment section before you start blasting. My opinion. You're entitled to yours. You do you, boo. It's your money. It's your product. It's what it is. But for me, if I'm going to spend $300 on a webcam, I want it to do more than just be able to mount it on a monitor and hit record. And the Insta360 does that. Okay, thank you for joining another episode of Level Up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Or wait, I did that in the wrong order. Man, just once. Would love to get through this without tripping and crashing in a 5-car pileup. But let's try it one more time, shall we? Because I have a feeling this is going to be a thing for the lifetime of this channel. But you're watching this on the Insta360 as I close this out. Don't forget this. How much time you got? Boy. Ah, here we go. Don't forget to hit. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. I did it again. Man, stay with me, people. Stay with me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, and hit the notification bell so you guys are notified when future content goes up and we can hang out together and do more of this, because God knows you guys are probably entertained by my car wreck of a YouTube video. So until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.